All right, welcome into a special edition of the Jordy Culotta Show live here on this Saturday afternoon from the Walk-On's side porch here on campus for the launch party of the Bayou Cat Crew, which is a part of the Players Lounge that we have been doing some work with over the last couple of weeks, and they are blowing up. What you see behind us is the entire LSU football team, or pretty much the entire LSU football team, who has been signed to a contract, an NIL contract by the Players Lounge. And our guy who is heading that up is former Georgia quarterback Aaron Murray. He was in studio with us a couple of weeks ago. He's down in Baton Rouge. He was playing golf yesterday here in town. Now he's here today overseeing this launch party. Bro, great turnout, man.
Yeah, we're excited. And first off, playing golf out here in Baton Rouge that is a workout. I sweated about 10 pounds out. Luckily, I was with Matt Flynn, and he had his little electrolyte drink. I had about 4 of those just to survive the day.
Shout out to My High.
Yeah. Shout out to My High. I mean, that saved me. I was dying out there. But no, man, we're excited. We've signed.
Well, who won?
We won.
That's a hell of a little match there between you and Flynn.
Yeah, we had 2 foursomes going on, and me and Carlos, we ran the table, so we did our thing.
Wow.
Yeah. We did a good time. What's that?
You club?
No.
RCC.
Yeah.
Oh, that's some
Yes.
Tight fairways.
The top 1%.
Tight fairways. I tell you what, tight fairways. A little intimidating, but we had some fun, and we have, I think, right around 90 players on the football team signed up. So we're excited. I mean, it was a hell of a 4 days. We signed up all these guys in 3 or 4 days, and really excited. And we launched about 3 hours ago, and launched with 1,000 of these digital tokens, and have, I think, about 40, 50 left, maybe 60, somewhere on there.
So you are having a lot of success in other markets with this, specifically where you played in Athens. We're seeing this thing blow up. Explain to our listeners what the Bayou Cat Crew and what the Players Lounge initiative is.
It's really just to connect players and fans, and for them to feel like they have an opportunity to hang out with them in authentic ways, and whether that's on our Discord chat, which is absolutely tremendous. We have anywhere from 20 to 40 kids on our Discord, which is a message board every night from those schools, chatting, interacting with fans. And then events like this that we'll be putting on all year long, where our players, and if you own one of these digital passes, you get an opportunity to come to these tailgates, interact with them, hang out with them, get to know them, and just build those relationships. That's what we wanted, because I felt like when I got out of college, and then I was lucky enough to play just a few years in the NFL. I had my cup of coffee, but then really the people that I knew and got to know back in Georgia, and the people that lived in Atlanta and then in that state, they took care of me. The people that I got to know, man, I leaned on them, said, hey, I'm ready to take that next step in my life post football, and they're like, hey, we'll give you a job, we'll help you out here, there, and the other. So, for these kids, the relationships that they make with the fans here in Baton Rouge are going to be some of the ones that help them out later on in life.
Explain the NFT part of this and how fans can get involved and purchase the NFTs and what's going on with that part of it.
So essentially, we tell fans it's just a digital ticket. It's all it is. Nowadays when you go into a football game or a basketball game or a baseball game, most of them have their ticket on their phone. They click in, they get access to the stadium. That's all this is. It is a digital ticket. We made some really cool artwork to put on top of it, but we're just backed by blockchain technology. It gives you access into this community. You can't fake the NFT. You can't copy. You can't screen grab it. You can't do any of that. There's a code that goes with each one that gives you that access. So 60% of everything that we make goes directly back to the student athletes. We use a lot of our profits to put on events like this. We're also doing an event in Atlanta at the College Football Hall of Fame on July 23rd. We've invited all of our student athletes.
Nice.
And we're going to invite about 75 to 100 fans from each one of our universities. We've run out the College Football Hall of Fame. We're doing a little Topgolf night on Friday night, Hall of Fame on Saturday, and then we run out Walk-Ons, which is a bar right outside the Hall of Fame, for a little after party. So putting on these events is what our big thing is, to be able to connect these fans and players.
Big Q. Stud right there, brother.
Animal.
You had last week the Discord. Explain the Discord first. It's an app. People need to download it.
Yeah, it's just an app, and all it is you think of your basic fan message boards where you go in there and you're talking with your fans, you're hanging out, you're having a good time. We threw in a new kind of wrinkle and twist and some utility to it. Now you get to go talk with your favorite fans, but you also get to talk with your favorite players. You know, we have some of the top players for LSU, guys like Kayshawn and Miles and John Emery and BJ Ojolari and, you know, Blake Money and so on and so forth are going to be on there. And you just literally go in there and all of a sudden you're chatting with one of your best buddies and then boom, Miles jumps on like, oh, hey, Miles, what's up?
Right.
And we try to have different topics every night to discuss with the players, and everyone kind of, well, obviously deviate here or there, but it's just a fun way to kind of, as we tell these players, you know, build your brand and build those relationships. Yeah. And it's you know, like I said, we do the in-person stuff like these tailgates, but then we also do the digital stuff like the Discord.
And the Discord is an app. Again, you lost it?
Yeah, the Discord is an app. Yep, I can hear now. Yeah, the Discord's just an app, and you can go to any of our socials, at the Players Lounge, at Bayou Cat Crew, and you just click on the website, and you'll see a button on the website that says Join Our Community. That community is essentially the Discord.
So let's talk some SEC football. We're heading into the offseason. You mentioned that you will be throwing an event July 23rd at the College Football Hall of Fame that's in Atlanta, which will be the same place as SEC Media Days the week before.
Yep, that week.
That's right.
It leads right into it. SEC Media Days, I think, ends on Thursday. Our event will begin, you know, Friday night at Topgolf and then Saturday at the Hall of Fame.
Georgia's celebrating a national championship, the first since 1980. Alabama seems like they have one of the best teams in the country coming back. How do you feel about this league going into the summer?
Ooh, it's. I feel bad for the West. I feel bad for anyone in the SEC West. I'll tell you that it is absolutely loaded on this side. I feel good with Georgia. You know, the East will be more competitive. I think there's no doubt about it. Tennessee, I think with Heupel year 2, Hendon Hooker back, I think that's going to be a very competitive team. They've built some more depth on both sides of the football, and they were pretty good last year. I mean, they would just wear out in the third and fourth quarter, and that would kind of bite them in the butt. You know, Will Levis back in Kentucky. You know, what Stoops has built there is a very consistent program. I'm excited about what they can do. And, you know, Florida is a question mark to me. You know, Anthony Richardson's a talent. Can he stay healthy? Can he take that next step? New coaching staff. You know, but overall, I think the East will be more competitive. I just think Georgia has built such a lead with talent that it's going to be hard for anyone to really catch up. Yeah. You know, maybe someone may sneak a win. But I think overall, I think Georgia's going to, you know, most likely come out that side and be in Atlanta for the SEC championship. The West, obviously, you give Alabama the favorite for what they have on both sides of the football. But I tell you what, with, you know, what A&M and obviously Jimbo's built, obviously I love what you guys have here on both sides of the football. You're talking about guys like Miles and Kayshawn and BJ or whoever the quarterback's going to be. I mean, it's pretty loaded. And I think you guys have one of the best coaches in America. You know, Brian Kelly to me is a top 5 coach. Yeah. I thought that was an incredible hire. So, you know, Ole Miss, Mississippi State will be pretty darn good. Auburn is a question mark to me. We'll see what they look like. You know, they got to answer some questions at the quarterback spot. But overall, man, SEC will be dominant once again. And like I said, this SEC West is going to be crazy, crazy good.
What did you make of Billy Napier's letter to Florida fans? Kind of openly saying they're struggling in recruiting, I guess?
Well, you know, they brought him in for that purpose. Right. You know, that, I mean, it's what's that?
That usually goes over well in Florida.
Yeah, there's so much talent in that state, and you know, Miami's down, Florida State's down. You would think Florida would be able to, you know, if any one of those three take that next step and get back going again. And plus, let's not forget, 2 years ago they were a touchdown away from beating Alabama in the SEC championship game. Right. So they're not talent deficient, that's for sure. I mean, they can get guys. There's no doubt about it. So. You know, I think Florida will be fine. You know, if Anthony Richardson is as good as we think he could be, you know, they could be pretty competitive year one with him.
Yeah. And SEC West, you mentioned Jimbo. What did you make of Saban and Jimbo kind of going back and forth?
It's like the Kardashians to me. You know, kind of part of me feels like the whole
Real
thing
Housewives of the SEC.
Yeah, it's like, you know, they just need a reality TV show and have some fun. I think it would be one of the top shows on out there, and definitely we can create some more controversy like what would happen, but. You know, I get where Saban's coming from. You know, NIL is changing the game, and I'm fine with NIL. I think the transfer portal to me is made NIL this kind of controversial topic because it's made the ability for kids to obviously transfer and then this whole free agency talk. But you know, good for these kids, man. You know, the fact that we can pay 90 kids on the football team a pretty good amount of money here in the next 2 months as this project kind of really blossoms. Good for them. I'm jealous. And as long as they're doing something, but like you're seeing here today, they're actually, there is that quid pro quo. They are coming to events. They are using their name, and we're not just giving them a check. and them not doing anything.
Yeah.
So as long as there's something that's being done, I'm all for it.
Yeah. All right, one more time for our listeners. Can they come out? If people are watching this, could they come out now?
Come on out. We'll be here for another hour or two. Come on out, hang out. We got some food. We got some great players. And they're just hanging out, chatting, and fans coming in and out, having a good time getting to know these kids.
Aaron Murray from the Players Lounge. Check out the Bayou Cat Crew, which is a part of the Discord. You got to download the Discord app, and you'll jump into a conversation each week that has athletes from all over the SEC, including Blake Money, who's about to step in here. Enjoy the day. Great job.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Soon. Absolutely. We'll get Blake Money in here. Blake Money's going to step in here. We are live here at Walk-Ons today for the Players Lounge launch party for the Bayou Cat Crew, as there is a ton of football players, a ton of athletes here. You can throw that on. Throw it on. As we're about to sit with LSU baseball pitcher Blake Money, who is here today, a part of the Bayou Cat Crew, a part of the Discord, everything going on. Good to see you, buddy.
Nice to see you too.
Absolutely.
This is a little cool setup, man.
Yeah, man.
Put it together, we came together quick,
Pulling it off.
I'm saying, I was like, I don't know how they're going to do this with all this noise and that. Hey, we're here.
We're getting there,
the
bro.
game, dude.
We're doing it.
All right, man. Tommy Tanks. What the hell, bro?
Unreal, man. No, it's cool. I mean, I'm looking forward to meeting him and doing the off season with him, getting to know him and everything like that. I mean, he's an extremely great guy. I mean, it's just one of those things, man. I mean, he had an unreal season at NC State. I mean, already baseball legend. He's only a freshman. He's going his sophomore year.
Right.
But no, I mean, I don't think he could have chosen. I mean, he couldn't have done it any better. I mean, this place to play. I mean, electric atmosphere. He's bringing the juice. Like, we got a great team. You know, a lot of. I mean, this past year, like a big learning experience for us, and then now we just added him, Christian Little. I mean, like. Right. We're in a good position, especially going into the next season.
Feels like momentum's kind of rolling in the right direction right now. What was it like year one under Coach Johnson? How did you kind of saw the shift from each coach? What was the difference, and kind of how you feel going into the first offseason?
Man, it was awesome, actually. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of guys really enjoyed Coach Johnson. I mean, he's a great guy. And, I mean, he's got a lot of valuable knowledge. I mean, it's unreal what he does. I mean, he's just his care factor's through the roof. Like, how we do everything is, first class. Like, our preparation, everything that we do going into it, everything like that. I mean, it's unbelievable. And I mean, I'm super happy that I got to experience it. Being part of a coaching change is kind of scary. You never really know what's going to happen. But I mean, he came in, took all of us underneath his wing, made us feel like his own. And I mean, this year especially, like, it was just cool to go to war with that guy. And I mean, I'm looking forward to going to war with him again and again after that.
How do you use your summer? How do you use this off season? What's going on with you?
I mean, I'm staying here and waking up and working out and going back to sleep and then going back to work out and working out some more. No, I mean, I'm staying here, working out, just working on some odds and ends stuff that I need to clean up and just getting ready for next season, really. Just getting ready to go into the fall and preparing the fall. Yeah,
absolutely. That lineup that you guys had last season, it felt nuclear at times. How potent was it? Just sitting from the dugout.
It was. I mean, it was really awesome. It was a cool experience, man. I mean, like, you'll never see a lineup that has that many top-tier guys. I mean, Dylan Cruz, he'll be the first pick in 2023. I mean, it's just, you got him, Trey, freak athlete. Like, we were just talking about him a little bit ago, man. Like, that guy, raw. Jordan Thompson, I love the kid to death, and so many people hated on him this year. Yeah. But he's a freak.
No,
like,
he is.
He's literally a freak. Like, I hope next year that he comes out and hits like 15 home runs, and like everybody's like, oh, we love Jordan. But last year,
because LSU will flip on you in a heartbeat.
No doubt about it. I've been telling you about Thompson.
Yeah.
Here he is.
I love him the whole time.
Exactly. I know, right? But I'm like, I mean, that dude, the way he works, like, you just know he's gonna pick it up. And I mean, he's having a great summer so far in this year in the cave. So I mean, he's really good. You know, he's just as lethal as anybody else. I mean, you had them, Jacob Berry, unreal. Right. I mean, just both sides of the plate coming at you. I mean, Gavin Dugas, I mean, the guy was battling a thumb injury, but with a hurt thumb, like, he hit one out in the regional. Like, there was no question about it. Dude was going to do it. But, I mean, that lineup top to bottom, I mean, I'm probably forgetting so many people just because you put me on the spot with it. But, I mean, just Josh Pearson, freshman, unreal.
What a dog.
Oh, my God.
What a dog.
That is,
I mean, how hard it must be as a true freshman to crack that lineup every day.
Right. No, I mean, I played summer ball with him last year. I went and played a couple of weeks in the Florida Summer League, and he was down there on the same team. And I pulled up on my first day, and he flies out to the warning track. It's like 405 dead center with wood. He takes one swing of the bat, and I hear crack, and I look, and I'm like, oh, my God.
We got a player.
Like, this kid's going to play as a freshman. So I was talking to our summer league coach. I'm like, that kid's playing as a freshman. Like, there's no way he's not going to not play. So we pull up in the fall, and he hit one out on me in the Fall Purple and Gold World Series. It was 95 chest high, and how he got to it, I called my dad on the phone after the game, and I was like, dude, I don't know how he did it. Like, I honestly, there's times where you tip your cap, and there's times where you're like, I don't even, like, why am I here? Like, how is that possible? Yeah. But I mean, he got up there and he hit it to the moon, and I was like, yeah, you're playing, dude. Like, don't even like, okay, you have to earn it, but once you earn it, like, I know the player that you are. And watching you play every day is going to be awesome because you're going to get in there and compete, and he did that all year for us. I mean, he got in the batter's box, put together good ABs, big-time hits, doubles, almost 10 pumps on the year as a freshman. Just a big-time year for him.
Jason Kelly, you got to be happy for him getting a head coaching gig, but what's it like to have that position kind of in flux right now going into what is a big year for you?
Right. I'm super happy for him. I actually called him on the phone when he got the job. And I was talking to him about this, these guys who are assistant coaches, these guys want to be head coaches. They really do. They want to do that.
We're good.
But no, they want to be head coaches. He texted us and told us, the second that happened, he was like, look, guys, one of my dreams is being a college head coach. Like, that's been one of my things. Like, I really wanted to do it. He goes, never the plan to stay here for 1 year and leave. Yeah. He goes, but the opportunity came, and I got to take advantage of it. And I called him on the phone, and I was like, man, I thanked him for everything. And I told him, like, a lot of words come to mind when a coach leaves. But, bitter was never one. You can really be bitter about the situation where it's like, oh, I wanted to spend my time with you, and like this is that and the other. You're supposed to stay and help me. But nah, man, that's his dream, just like my dream is to play professional baseball and be on TV. Yeah. So I was super happy for him. But, I mean, being in this position last year, you didn't know who was going to come in. And, Coach Johnson got the head spot, and then he brings in JK. So, like, already knowing the type of, interviewing that Coach Johnson's doing, like, he's not going to bring in a bad guy. Like, whoever decides to take this job, whoever he hires for this job, they're going to be phenomenal. And they're going to be top-notch. They're going to be first class. Like, everything we do is going to be to the max. So I'm looking forward to it, actually.
How cool is this part of being a student athlete now, having opportunities to represent brands and promote stuff and endorse and make money off of your name, image, and likeness?
Man, it's phenomenal. I think it's great. I've always had, like, mixed feelings about it. I talk to my parents about it all the time, and matter of fact, I was just talking about it with Aaron Murray. Like, what's the balance? Where do you find do you find yourself where people reach out to you? Do you reach out to them? How do you really go about it? Things like that. But I mean, it's been something that's super cool to be a part of. I really have enjoyed like every second of it. I think it's phenomenal with a chance to make money off your name. Like, the way I think about it is, if I can make a little bit of NIL money, I take stress off my parents. I can help myself down here. Yeah. And I think that's one of the biggest things for me is, like, if I can make money off my name, image, like this, and I can stay in the classroom, stay on top of my school, I can stay on top of my sport, and then there's a little bonus at the end because of this NIL money, then all I'm doing is just helping my parents taking stress off them. So that's really the goal.
And then, do you have somebody managing that for you?
My mom's my manager.
No doubt.
My mom.
It's not Cash?
No, not Cash. I mean, that kid, his name's Cash, but he probably spend it the second he gets it.
The NIL deal waiting to happen, though.
It really is. Well, if I gave money to Cash, I'd be afraid that he goes and buys like a new PS5 or like a new game or something.
Flips it.
Yeah.
I've been managing your money.
Yeah. You wouldn't believe what I bought, man. I bought a new PS5 in like 7 games. Dude, you want to play? And I'm like, you don't need
a
video games.
Controller. Yeah.
Well, the other one was like $100, man. You're gonna have to wait a week. No, he's a trip.
Go through each store, we'll get you another one. Yeah.
Right.
Enjoy it, man. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the summer.
Thank you.
Looking forward to watching you play next year. Thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you for having me on. Y'all have a great day.
You too. There's Blake Money with a couple of minutes here today at the Bayou Cat Crew launch party, a part of the Players Lounge over here at Walk-Ons on campus. We're at Walk-Ons, the original location. Some people asking whether or not they hear Lloyd's voice. That is Lloyd, awoken from the dead. As we can't hear you, Lloyd. Go up.
I think my mic's
he's still got amnesia over there.
Sounds good.
He's been away from work so long, forgot what buttons to push.
That's right.
How we feeling, buddy?
Good, man. Good. Happy to be back.
Yes.
Once they dome this place back up, it felt better to be here. It's about 1,000 degrees.
A little bit of leadership needed over here. A little bit of outlook was really trying to help them, buddy, as they had the garage doors opened to start this event, and it was boiling inside of this porch. But once they closed it up, got the AC moving, it was all good over here. A lot of players from LSU football in the building, but right now we are This is the Players Lounge, and it is a company that Aaron Murray was in our studio a couple of weeks ago talking about what this is and how it's bringing in athletes from all over the SEC, all over intercollegiate athletics, not just football players, but athletes from all over the campus are here taking part of this. But the majority of it is a lot of football players, as we've seen a lot of guys walking around here, walking through here, shaking hands. It's been really cool to see this really coming to the front and center, really starting to happen, man. As Aaron Murray said that they have 90 guys from the football team signed up. So, I mean, that's pretty much every scholarship player that's on LSU's campus is signed to an NIL deal with the Players Lounge. So it's been pretty cool to watch. And then tonight, game 1 of the national championship, we saw Mincy last night. Mincy caught a flight to Colorado.
Oh, of course.
Went to Red
Rocks,
Rocks
yeah.
and watched Widespread Panic last night. He was texting me talking about the spiritual experience. Big Tygee. What's up? Go sit down. But yeah, Mincy was talking about the spiritual experience he was having look, throw those headphones on, big fella.
Oh, I would imagine. I mean, it's the summer of Mincy. It continues. It
Yes.
rolls on for the man.
Absolutely. It is good to see our the big defensive lineman out of Edna Carr over here at LSU now. Pull up, get comfortable, big fella. This is cool, man. NIL stuff already happening to you freshman season. How's this going? Tygee Hill, defensive lineman from New Orleans down here in his freshman season. How's it been so far?
Man, love it. Best decision I done made, man. Everybody welcoming, getting every opportunity I ever wanted. It's just a blessing right here. Like,
you went through a coaching change. You committed to Ed Ogeron
Right.
and that defense, and now you come in with Brian Kelly and Matt House and Jamar Kane. How was that transition? What was the communication like, and what's it been like up to this point?
I think moving in, everybody was new to LSU. Everybody was making transition, so I think we kind of transitioned together. That's what really brought us close. Everybody was new to LSU, and I think that helped our relationship because we was new to everything. We figured out everything with each other, so that made it a whole lot better, man. Coach Jamar Kane, my guy, man.
He's a stud, man.
Yes, sir.
You got a lot of leaders in your room, man. You got a lot of NFL guys in your room. What was that competition like up to this point? Did you go through spring?
No.
No. So getting in now and seeing that room, what are you seeing?
Man, guys really helpful, like real leaders like Mason Smith, Ali Gay, J-Roy, like those guys that really took me under their wing when it's like hard conditioning days, being on time, just really taking me under and teaching me the game. So I think that was a big thing because I thought once I came to college, guys were going to be more standoffish and stuff. But no, this real like family, like we be in each other's dorms almost every day, like we real family.
What's the off season like under Jacob Flint? What's that been like under his monitoring you guys?
Definitely more precise, I'd say. Like you training for actual goals. So if we speed training, you knowing why you doing a certain movement and understanding your body and just nutrition, like thinking about what you eat and what you put in your body, like things that I didn't probably think about a lot is a big emphasis now.
Yeah. Seems like you guys are, one word that I keep hearing is accountability, leadership. You're starting to find those through the SWAT teams and stuff. What's that experience been like?
The SWAT team experience been fun. Really just getting to know people outside of your position, you know, just having to compete with a wide receiver, a punter, just having those guys around you, like real team bonding. That was something I didn't expect, and I love that part of the summer.
How's the transition academically, summer school and stuff like that?
Academically, I'll say you got more free time, so your schedule more spaced out, but it's really on you now. It's not like my mom and dad got to call me, or I got the next bell. It's really up to me to be on time. So it was a transition knowing that I'm by myself, but once I got the first 2 weeks, it was smooth sailing.
What is the emphasis this summer for you? What are you looking to improve on? Is it getting your body right? What are you trying to?
Of course, always getting my body right, cleaning up, further my game. You know, take it to another level. I seen like we'll work out. I seen it's another level to it that I didn't have in high school. So just ready for competition. Really and truly, freshman All-American.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. What did guys like Quincy Wiggins and Will Campbell tell you about what it was like to come in early? What piece of advice have they kind of given you on what to look out for?
one thing they told me about is having confidence in yourself. Like, don't overthink. Just thinking like you come to college, everybody can be bigger and better. Like, no, like keep that same dog you had in your high school and bring it up here, and you go flourish. And guys like Will that played in the spring that dominated, like you've seen it, so you can always look at that and be like, yeah, like I was good too in high school. So just bringing that up here and adding to the team, man, we're gonna be great this year.
How does this stuff work? The NIL. How do you like it? How do you manage it? How do you make sure it doesn't get out of control?
We just hired a new NIL like personnel that we always run through any contracts or any interests we have. We run it through them. I think keeping under control, I embrace it. Like this is part of the thing. Like, but I also want to start like I don't want to have to depend on NIL. I want to start my own merch, my own clothing line, stuff like that. So definitely looking at avenues like that.
It's great, man. That's great. Think like an entrepreneur, bro.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. If we can help, let us know. It's great to see you.
Great to see you.
Tygee Hill, defensive tackle out of Louisiana, in for his freshman season here, a part of the NIL event, something that's going on with the Players Lounge, where they are announcing today the Bayou Cat crew, which is the LSU crew here. They're doing it at campuses all over the SEC and seeing a lot of success here throughout markets like Athens, throughout some of the Mississippi schools, where last week I was talking to Aaron Murray and he said they had athletes from all over the conference taking part in one of what they call a Discord is the name of it. You download the Discord app and you'll be able to jump on the Players Lounge and you will have the opportunity to interact with student athletes from all over the conference, all different teams, all over the SEC. And as Aaron Murray said, if you're out and about and you're still moving around today and you're looking for a little something to do, over here at Walk-Ons for the next couple of hours, probably about another hour and a half, they'll be over here, a part of today's festivities. We all good?
Yeah, all good. All good over there. How'd Tygee go?
Great.
He just bounced.
Yeah, I mean they were. I think I kind of get the I kind of get the feeling that it was an appearance fee.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, now we're doing interviews.
Yeah, right.
This wasn't in my contract.
That's right.
But it seems to be a hit. A lot of studs out here.
Yeah, they do. A lot of. Well, I mean, that would be the key to it, man. At least sign the superstars.
Yeah, if we're gonna do this right, if we're gonna do it once, let's do it the right way.
That's right. We'll see if we can't get a couple of more to run through here, but a lot of the guys starting to fade out. But this is a great event. Make sure that. No, I don't. Do you know what a Discord is?
Joe does. Discord.
Do you know what it is?
Like communication platform, like chat rooms.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. ASL. Age, sex, location. That's all I know about a chat room, dude. Don't get into no Megal. They see a bunch of dudes' penises.
What's up, man?
What's up? How you doing?
Cody Boudreaux asked if we're getting Wiggins on. I don't think he's here anymore.
I think you kind of had it right with it. It's just an appearance fee. It was just, all right, show up. Aaron Murray gave the State of the Union.
Get your meal.
Yeah, get your meal. Get your shirt.
Shake your hand.
Wear it. Take a picture. And then get the hell out of here.
The biggest get in the room today, I'm telling you, is Hester. We got to get Hester. Go tell Hester we want him on. We're going to watch his reaction real time. Zoom in on Hester and let's watch this negotiation between Noah and Hester with his back turned here as he's talking to Blake Money. Let's see if he'll jump over enemy lines here on a Saturday.
Big task for Noah.
He's on the Players Lounge. He's on their payroll.
He would essentially have to. He should want to promote the Players
So
Lounge.
you've got to promote. This is an awkward moment for Noah. I've done a lot of chasing and trying to get guests when you stand outside of a conversation. Here we go. We're live. We're live.
Go promote your product, Hester.
He's going to send negotiation.
Promote your product.
Yes. Perfect.
What did you say?
Perfect. He's got to send a text to the bosses.
Oh, I bet.
Jacques, sit down. Let's pull in one of our partners here from Jacques Doucet from WAFB, who is live here as well. That is so good.
Mic check 1 2 3.
We're hot. We're live. Sorry.
It's a Culotta way. You should know that by now. Yes.
This isn't WAFB. Tighten up, for God's sakes. It's a podcast.
This isn't any Cracker Jack production here.
All right.
Big time.
How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you. This is a lot of athletes in this room, man. You're able to get a lot of content out of here, I imagine.
Yeah, just shooting fish in a barrel, really.
Really.
I mean, I haven't interviewed really any LSU student athletes, football players since spring.
Yeah.
It was at the end of April. So, yeah, there's a lot of guys here. I had talked to Tremont Shorts, the big new offensive lineman from East Tennessee State. So first time to meet him and talk to him. Mekhi Gardner. We talked to Mekhi in spring. The
Very
ULF.
impressive, huh?
Yes.
He's very impressive.
Yeah, very good rep for LSU. And I tell you, Jordy, I mean, they're all saying graduate, go to class. You know, I mean, I know a lot of people roll their eyes when they hear that, and like, come on, we're a football power about winning games, but they are all saying that. That's obviously a big emphasis of the new head coach and the new regime, and they want these guys to represent the school well off the field. And I think that's going to happen.
I saw you talking to Blake Money, another coach on campus that is having tremendous amount of success here over the last 48 hours is Jay Johnson.
Yeah.
He picks up Tommy Tanks and Cody Little out of the transfer
Yeah,
portal.
Kim Mulkey woke up and said, look at this. And then Jay said, oh, yeah, watch this. You know, so they were.
I'll take your number one player and get the number one freshman.
That's great news for LSU across the board. But.
And he said he's not even close to done, which is very interesting. I don't even know who else is out there, but he said he's not done.
No. He's just getting started. I imagine because his recruiting class is about to get rated by the Major League Baseball draft. I'd imagine.
Yeah, I would think they're going to lose at least half, right?
Yeah,
that's typically what happens. Yeah. And so, yeah, Blake was interesting. Blake, he talked a lot about his pitching coach there getting the job at Washington, and how, you know, Jason Kelly, how they said, look, you know, as a player, our dream is to make it to the majors. His dream is to become a head coach, and so they are all very happy for him getting that job. But yeah, you got two new assistant coaches that have to be replaced there in baseball.
Yeah.
But you know, it's funny. Some people are saying, well, we already have a first baseman. You know, getting the it's like, hey,
right.
You know,
what are you
no
ready
one
to
could
pass on Tanks?
Yeah, 27 home runs.
Right.
You take the guy. You know,
got to, man.
No matter what.
Did you make it down to Thibodeau?
I didn't. I Thursday I went to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame.
I saw that. That's where you were.
And so,
I saw that.
You know, an emotional thing. Two people that are no longer with us, and Eric Andelsek, who passed away. Crazy. He passed away 30 years ago on Thursday.
30 years.
30 years, 1992.
Wow.
It was the anniversary of his passing.
Wow.
And so his brother Andy's there, you know, and it's funny. I never met Eric. I mean, I knew about him. Went to the games as a kid. I think, you know, he played 1987. But, you know, Eric Andelsek was in, and his brother Andy's a thin guy, and he represented him and got up and represented the family. And Chase Clement's mother, I believe, is the sister of Eric Andelsek.
Okay.
So she was there, and I think Chase was there as well. And Tony Robichaux, who passed away, I think, in 2020, the head coach of the Raging Cajuns, his family was represented. So those were two people that were not there. But yeah, Eric Andelsek, it's crazy, Jordy. I had a picture. It was Eric Andelsek, Ruffin Rodrigue, and Nacho Albergamo, and two of those three have passed. So
wow.
It's crazy. But yeah.
And two of the best offensive linemen maybe to ever come through LSU, and Ralph Norwood and Eric Andelsek, were on the same line of scrimmage and died within months of each other in a car accident. Andelsek's story of his death is so tragic and freaky on how it happened, and then Norwood was killed in an auto accident heading
in
to
Atlanta?
New Orleans. Or was it maybe?
I talked to Mike during the pandemic. I did an interview with Mike Archer, the former LSU head coach.
Where is he now?
He was an assistant coach in the second coming of the what was that football?
Okay.
XFL.
Right.
He was an assistant with one of the teams. I forgot which one. But and that league was doing all right. It was kind of catching on, and then the pandemic came and then knocked it out. But yeah, we talked about that. Had those two guys passed away in a very short period of time there. But yeah, and I drove down a week ago today was the offensive defensive line camp they do at Nichols, where they had like 600, 700 kids, and I saw Kevin Mawai there and some other people. But, you know, driving down to Thibodaux, it's a beautiful drive. There's a lot of farmland, you know, it's a peaceful drive. But I noticed how, you know, close those houses are to the road. And I thought about that. I think the guy that was driving that hit Eric Andolsek with the truck, I think he was under the influence, from what I understand. And
it was a
terrible
semi,
thing,
right? I mean, it was a.
Yeah, it was a big truck.
I mean, it took, and it if I recall, when he went to the hospital, he had still not passed. I mean, like he never saw it coming. He had his back turned to the highway as he was weed eating with headphones on. Never saw it, never heard it, and a semi. I mean, it was just a tragic story. He had just become an All-Pro.
WAFB is just a treasure trove of video stuff that way before, and we got video of him lifting weights and just power cleaning stuff, and the veins popping out of his neck, and then they were doing karate. That was kind of a new thing they were doing as well back then, and just an interesting time there. They won the SEC in '86. They went 10-1-1 in '87, and they won the SEC in '88. And Kevin Mawae goes, I'm signing up. I'm thinking this is what we're going to do, and then the bottom fell out for many years.
Still to one of the best LSU highlights, I think, in the history of the program is Chris Spielman and Eric Andolsek pregame to the Ohio State LSU nationally televised kickoff game in '87. Musburger's first time in Tiger Stadium, and they meet before the coin toss, staring at each other, and Spielman and Andolsek shove one another. I mean, it is one of the finest highlights that you can ever. And then they ended up being roommates with the Detroit Lions.
Andy, his brother, at the Hall of Fame said he called it a Forrest Gump moment. He said they were at training camp, and I think it was Spielman getting on the bus, and there was only one seat available, and it was next to Andolsek. So it was like they were forced to sit next to each other. And then they became friends, and then Spielman would come down to South Louisiana and eat crawfish, and they became, great friends and everything. But, yeah, that game you're talking about, for the longest time, for about 1987 to, 2003 when LSU played Georgia in Tiger Stadium. It was the biggest game LSU played because I think they were both in the top 5 CBS game.
13-13 tie?
13-13 tie. Wow. Some kids, they tied? How'd that?
Right. Roger McGee had a huge day.
He caught the first touchdown I'm such a nerd. Caught a slant across the middle.
Nobody touched him.
Yeah, and he did this dance in the end zone.
The Cabbage Patch. Yeah. I think it was like the first time we ever saw the Cabbage Patch.
I had it on VHS, Lloyd, before there were these things called VHS tapes.
This type of hot that day.
It was a day game.
It was brutally hot outside.
Now remember Musburger, because Earl Bruce was the coach, and Musburger's like, you take a look at Earl Bruce. He's not coming out. Look, he's holding his ground, because Ohio State wouldn't run out.
Yeah. That's back when the Tiger was still in front of the opposing.
Yeah.
I mean, they still parked Mike right outside of
They're probably like, Coach, let's get a move on you. This is good enough.
Yeah, that
boy's
game.
Hungry.
Yeah.
Not to make this a big history lesson about 35 years ago, but that game right there, it was like you felt good that, we didn't lose, but you felt terrible, we didn't win, because they were on the 10-yard line, and I've talked to Wendell Davis and Tommy Hodson about it, and Wendell broke one way, and Hodson said he was throwing the other, and he threw it right to the Ohio State guy. I mean, they were on the goal line to kick the field goal to win. And Mike Archer, that was the first time the fans really grilled him, because they should have they should have scored. At Brown Dyke, yeah.
Was it the year before that or the year after that where they were in the horseshoe? And I think Gordy Rush got the 15-yard penalty on the kickoff that cost him that game.
Really? I remember that, watching that game very clearly. Ohio State and LSU was up 33-20.
Right.
With like 3 minutes left. And LSU took an intentional safety. And then the free kick was terrible, and Ohio State ran it back. And the late Ruffin Rodrigue just swore to me that on the touchdown that Ohio State had, the guy trapped it. And I looked at it, and I was like, I think he caught it. But that's it.
Right. God bless his soul. We'll let you win that argument, Ruff.
Oh, he double dribbled it. I mean, the thing bounced in it,
Yeah, right.
So, the Andre Morrow, his stand-ups and everything that day, you know. And then they lost to Florida the next week.
That's right.
And then the earthquake game in Tiger Stadium. So
10-1-1. 87 team.
87 was 10-1-1, and then the 88 team was 8-4. I remember whatever my birthday was, we went to Tiger Stadium for my birthday to watch LSU play Miami.
Oh, God.
It poured rain, and 44-3. Steve Walsh, Brett Perriman.
They had a big wide receiver. It wasn't Michael Irvin. It was
Brett Perriman and then somebody else. And then the next day, I'll talk about how spoiled I was as a kid. We went to the Superdome and watched the Saints beat the Broncos 42-0 with Bobby Hebert playing quarterback. Yeah, Elway. Yeah.
Wow.
That's when the NFC used to kick the AFC's ass.
Yeah.
Like in the Super Bowl every year and stuff. And And yeah, I remember going to that game, and John Elway. Yep.
What has this stuff done for your business, NIL stuff? This has been
it's confused me.
It's been great for us in this space because it's given a line for interviews, right? But you're still at a desk where you're still, you're crunched to 3 minutes of a sports segment.
Yeah.
How has this? But you do have the Jacques Talk on WAFB Plus and WAFB.com. How has this part changed your profession?
Well, I mean, it's changed because, like last year, for example, I'm at a gas station. I run a Tyrene Davis Price, and I could have easily said, "Hey, just tell me how the summer's going," and then I shoot it on a video and tweet it out. He could give me the most standard answer: "We're working hard. We think we have a good team." But still, people would watch that.
Still have the content.
Yeah, have some sort of content. If it's LSU football, they're going to eat it up no matter what. But I wouldn't do that because I'd have to go through the channels of Michael Bonnet. Hey, Mike,
sure.
Tyron's here. Can I talk to him? And if he says no, then I don't. And so now all these guys are here today, and I haven't heard anything from LSU in terms of their structure. It's obviously not part of LSU in terms of that. And so this is, I've talked to like 5 or 6 guys so far. It's like been shooting fish in a barrel to talk to them about, strength and conditioning, Brian Kelly's message, all those different things. So for me, I think it's great, but at the same time, I'm trying to stay in the good graces of LSU. And how do we do this these days? That's why I'm just a little, just wondering about that. So, but this is a great event. Aaron Murray, former Georgia star quarterback, putting it on and having a good time.
You mentioned Mulkey. She named she lands the number 1 player in the country on Friday from Shreveport. I believe that she didn't even have LSU on an official visit list prior to Mulkey and where they kind of stood with her. You were as high on her as we were when she was coming in, and after seeing her work in year 1 and now what she's doing in her first offseason, what do you expect? This feels like it's kind of ballooning into a dynasty.
It's been so much fun, Jordy. It's been so much fun. Like when she came here, I knew they were going to win. That was a given. But then it was like, I heard, she's going to wear you out. She watches the local sportscast, and if she's lower in the sportscast than what she feels like, she's going to let you know about it, like she was going to be this high maintenance, and she's as personable as can be, as approachable as can be. The one thing she told me before, she goes, if we blow a game and I call a stupid play on the baseline, I don't care. You say whatever you want. She goes, just don't talk about my players. And I said, understood, absolutely. And I got that. And I think she said that in the PMAC. Like when they had that preseason thing where they had all the fans, and she told them, don't you ever come up to me and start talking about one of my girls. And so, that endears the team to her. And there was a lot of dynamics that could have gone off. Kayla Pointer is the niece of Nikki Fargas. She could have easily said, this new coach and all her demands and this and that. But she got on board and she squeezed every bit of lemon out of, every bit of juice out of that lemon last year to win as many games as they won. So now they're going to be better next year. That's obvious.
Right.
And so, she's been great. It's funny, Jordy, every bit of video that went the most viral for me on Facebook or in Twitter from like March to April or whatever before that was Kim Mulkey.
Wow.
Everything. It was like she gave 5 seconds of her walking on the court with her new, blazer or butterfly thing or whatever.
Fire coming out of everywhere.
Her singing Jim Croce, you don't mess around with Kim, after they beat Jackson State in the first round. But it just and she raises everyone else's standard. Even like in the interview with Brian Kelly, I mentioned that, and he said, when you got somebody like that on campus, makes you, I got to do my job because look at what she's doing. So, it's exciting. I think Michaela was here. It was the LSU Florida game, football game, and we were standing there in the end zone, and Mulkey was standing there, and she goes, that girl right there and that girl right there. I don't know who the other one was. She goes, we get them two, we're going to be set now. And so if she didn't get them both, she at least has one already. So
go ahead and book the other two, I got a feeling.
So we've heard...
Because you and I, real quick, remember like back in the days of Pokey and everything when so many people used to go.
It was awesome.
You
you covered that 06 team closer than anybody. The coolest part about that 06 basketball team,
the man you're talking,
Mitchell, Tyrus Thomas, Glenn Davis, was how close they were with Sylvia Simone and the girls group, because they were the ones that were kind of establishing the standard of basketball on the other side, right? You forget in 06 they had the women's and the men's teams in the Final Four.
Yeah, they both went. It was... I think Brady told me a story about early in the year he knew that the men's team was going to be straight because Big Baby got in a skirmish with somebody, and one of the teammates was Tyrus or somebody says, "Coach, we got this."
Yeah.
And then took it outside. Yeah, and cleaned it up themselves. The coach didn't have to do anything. And Brady at the point was like, "I think we may have something here."
Yeah.
And I just remember that year, Tyrus turned his ankle. And Tyrus recovering from his ankle in the NCAA tournament, they lined up just perfectly where the team was 100% up and running. And Big Baby kind of captivated the country with his sound bites.
Yeah.
You know, I got a tapeworm in my belly. You know, I just want to eat. You know, and yeah. And it really was like a Louisiana AAU team. I mean, everybody.
It was.
Everybody on the team. And another guy who was a fantastic basketball player who went the football route was Early Doucette. Like, he played with all those guys, too. And there's a story about Early Doucette dunking on Chris Bosh
in Dallas. In a Dallas AAU tournament.
Yeah, and they had to stop the game for like 15 minutes because people were coming out
Bosh
of the stands.
Is from Dallas.
I was about to say Bosh is from Dallas.
I mean, it was his team was hosting the tournament. And if you remember, we had Collis Temple on our podcast, and he told the stories of that Sports Academy National Championship AAU team, and they didn't make it over the top until they picked up Doucette. They didn't make it over the top until they picked up Early.
Yeah.
One thing, so what I was getting at was that we've had a chance to talk to these players. You're talking to them today. The message coming out of the football team, these guys are really looking forward to the season, and it seems like the chemistry that's being built daily, every day within this team is something that's real.
Yeah, I think that obviously the attention to detail. Look, I don't know what Brian Kelly was writing on his tablet. He could be writing his favorite songs to play in Tiger Stadium. I'm not sure, but I just know the fans like the optics of the organization, the attention to detail there with him, and I think he's built a heck of a staff there. I mean, I got on pretty good authority that Jake Peets last year wanted to hire Cortez Hankton. That was the guy he wanted to bring aboard, but they weren't having that. They went the DJ Mangus route instead. I guess it worked out best for everybody in that regard in terms of him winning a national championship at Georgia and being here. But, yeah, these players, I sense that, Jordy, we want LSU football to be important to the players. You know, we want them to dream about playing in Tiger Stadium. We want them to take the attitude or not take the attitude, hey, I'm doing you a favor by being here at LSU and I want to go pro. And I think that's kind of what fans want to see back a little bit of the guys that dream of running out of the tunnel. You know, the Jeray Jenkins, the Jack Beshes, they want to see that kind of attitude from their team and not just, hey, I want to count down to get to the NFL and I want to get out of here. So I think they can do both. They can have a great NFL career. They can have a great LSU career. But all the guys I talked to today so far are very impressive.
Yeah.
Well, that's the balance that LSU's fighting right now, right? Like, obviously you want to be able to get the Louisiana State kids, and like you want to be able to get the Louisiana kids that love to play for LSU, but also you want to get the kids that you know are going to be 3 and out. And it feels like there's a bit of a juggling act right now of what he doesn't quite understand which one's which. You know, Brian Kelly's in a very, I don't want to say difficult position, but he's trying to understand the landscape a little bit still.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know enough about it. I do know Elias Ricks has been labeled a mercenary by different people. You know, that he kind of held LSU hostage and then went to Alabama and said, Ed Ogeron was fired. He was my head coach, and that, you know, and kind of
Aaron Anderson decommitting because Ogeron was fired. I think he was just looking for a way out.
Yeah, the old church lady before you were born. How convenient, Lord. So, but yeah, I mean, and not to slam Elias Ricks, he's going to Alabama. He's going to play for a great program, but that's what you're battling. You know, I mean, how do you get the talented player who's also not going to be high maintenance? I think that's what you're trying to find.
What do you expect from SEC Media Day? Who do you think they take?
I was thinking about this. I should have done a better job when we talked about this the other day. I think it would be a great statement to bring Kayshon Boutte to say, hey, look, we think you're the best player on this team, right? You think you're the best player on the team? We're going to put you on this big platform in front of all this media, in front of all these, to show you, hey, look, you and Coach Kelly are on the same page. You guys want to accomplish the same thing. I think that would be a good one to take. I think B.J. Ojulari, as I told you before, would be a great one to bring as well. Jay Ward has been a great, leader, stuck it out with this team so far. I think those are all good. You tend to bring, older guys, juniors and seniors. I do not think they take a quarterback. I don't think you can.
Yeah.
And look, I love Brandon Harris to death, and I just remember joking with him. I'm like, Brandon, I said, that was a bad sign when you were the starting junior quarterback going in and they didn't take you to SEC Media Days. I mean, that's but they don't have a starter, so you can't bring a guy at this point. So those are a couple off the top of my head. I mean, Mason Smith, Devon Gottschall, I saw him at his camp, and he said, look, all the defensive line is great, but he said if I could create a body in a lab for a defensive lineman, it'd be Mason Smith. So that's another guy that's just going to have a, hopefully a great
Mike
career.
Jones has been incredible every time we've had him on. He's a great personality, and it feels like
That's a great one, Lloyd.
Yeah, after what happened last year when he was so up in the air, then you see him play in the bowl game. You're like, where's this guy been? But that's an opportunity for him to kind of like solidify what the defense is going to be moving forward.
Or the Alabama game when they played him at his natural position, and he had a sack and I think he forced a fumble in that game and all that game. That just didn't make sense, The team in Lexington and the team that played in Alabama, these are the same guys, really?
Somebody else was calling the plays.
Oh, my goodness.
What did you make of Arch Manning committing to Texas? Speaking of Brandon Harris, the quarterback's coaching.
I called Brandon the other day, and he said, hey, I'll call you back. So I wonder if he was busy at that time. I didn't know it was going to be that quick, honestly. I mean, I'm not a recruiting nerd, but I was surprised that it came out that quick. I mean, look, he was doing 7-on-7 here the other day, and we tried to kind of make, he's on the LSU campus, but I don't think anyone ever thought he was coming here. I mean, you hear out of New Orleans, the Mannings don't like LSU. A Manning will never go to LSU. I mean, the times I've met Archie and the Mannings, they seem like good, nice people and good, structured people. And because of that, I doubt he would flip, right? You don't think he's going to flip?
I think it's over. Yeah.
I mean, I would think that the Mannings are, hey, look, son, when you make your commitment, that's it. We're not going to.
Well, and look, I said this the other day, whether you like it, love it, or not affected by it, you have to respect the way they handled it. They made up their mind 2 years ago. They were going to stay off social media. They weren't doing every interview. They were going to take official visits, and they were going to make their choice. And that's what they did.
Yeah. I agree. And, I don't want to follow the easy narrative and say the kid's overrated because he's got Manning on the back of his. So I saw him play against Episcopal last year. I walked away from it saying that I feel like I just watched a Leonard Fournette or somebody that's like this game-changing. I can't say that I did. Was he very, very good? Yeah. Is he a lot better than Eli Holstein? I don't know. Is he? I mean, Holstein's a heck of a talent, too. Big, strong kid who can throw the ball from here to Alec Box Stadium. So we'll see how that all plays out. Ricky Collins impressed me, too. I saw him at Woodlawn. Now, Ricky says, I'm a Purdue Boilermaker.
Yeah.
I said, what if LSU comes? I'm a Purdue Boilermaker. Yeah. So he's on that narrative.
Turning that heat up on him.
so
Boiler room.
And I want to talk to you, too, about Stephanie Remp. I think that's somebody who is a good source of mine. This is what he told me, and I hope I'm not overstating this, but he said she has done all the hiring and firing over there for the last 3 years.
Jacques, I'm telling you, people have been crucifying me on social media, but I stand by in saying that Scott Woodward's biggest hire to date, up to this point, and think about it, he's hired
bigger than Brian Kelly.
Every position, I would say as big.
Yeah.
Thinking about it a little bit more, as big as the football coach. I think there's 2 positions on campus that could really dictate the way that Woodward's future. Jay Johnson, if he works out or not, he's going to keep his job. Yeah. Matt McMahon, if he works out or not, is going to keep his job. Kim Mulkey, even. She looks like as close to a guarantee as you can make, but even if she didn't work out, he's going to be okay. If Brian Kelly doesn't work out, he's in trouble. And if the position that he's looking to replace Stephanie Remp with does not work out, Scott Woodward has to change his entire function of flow, the way that his day goes. The entire responsibility of the athletic department, I think Scott would tell you, he had no problem telling you in public, that's on Stephanie. And I mean, she handles facility requests, facility complaints, NIL stuff, all of the stuff that goes around with the travel for teams. I mean, everything that goes into running an athletic department, she oversees. He's flying at 30,000 feet, making sure that the political relationships up at the Capitol are intact.
And he's not a media, I don't want to use the word whore, but he's not that either. Right. I mean, he doesn't like doing interviews and running his mouth and all that. They're both kind of, and she did some interviews, nice lady, but that wasn't her thing either. But I just kind of wondered, Jordy, what about this take? Did she maybe say, hey, Scott, look, we worked together for 3 years. We've changed the entire landscape here at LSU. All the coaches are kind of set. Now it's time for me to spread my wings and fly somewhere else.
I can't imagine that Scott Woodward would give her that type of power without knowing in the back of his head at some point somebody's going to pay attention to what's going on here and she's going to get recognized. So, I mean, she's been with him since Washington.
Yeah, 2008.
Right? I mean, she's made about every big decision that's been on his department's watch. She's had the majority of the input into that. I'm talking about Jimbo Fisher, Buzz Williams, all those decisions in College Station, expanding the stadium. I mean, all that stuff was
Sarkeesian way back when at Washington.
Absolutely. She, to me, I think he's had a top list, a top 3, a name in mind. She interviewed for the Cincinnati job in 19. I mean, I think that there was some. Okay, hey, she's getting recognized. Let's start to maybe prepare for down the road if something happens. And you've covered LSU athletics as close as anybody over the last decade. The way that it's turned over the last 2 years, the direction it was headed to where it is now, Scott, I mean, Jock, that's a lot of hard work by a lot of people behind the scenes doing something.
Well, I guess good things come to those who wait. Because like those women's basketball teams, when I can fire a shotgun and not hit anybody, and I'm just like, man, I can't believe they let this erode so far. And then Kim Mulkey's never coming here. Come on, Kim Mulkey's never coming here, and she shows up. And then they get Bob Starkey. That's a great thing too, is the assistant. And Brian Kelly was, I know, not a guy that I talked about very much in terms of being in the running for this job. Another, great hire. He tells me, like, I'm 60. I feel great though. I'm in the best shape of my life, and moving forward. So, yeah, they've changed the whole landscape there. Matt McMahon had zero players on the team. This is looking like a disaster. And obviously he's not facing the same challenges as our friend John Brady faced in the late 90s in terms of he can get players and to leave other teams and whatnot. So,
but similar to just what he's staring at.
Right. Yeah. No, not going to a tournament. And what do you think they're going to do? 1 year, 2 years of postseason ban? Or
Shock, I think they just wanted Will. I think now that Will's gone,
they've yanked the tooth out.
I mean, maybe a scholarship or two. The big boys there.
Big Will Campbell, yeah. I got a feeling I'm going to be standing, getting out of the seat here in a second.
Emory's as good as interview as Will is. You might want to go get him. Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys.
WAFB's finest, Jacques Doucet here, along with a lot of the LSU football players here for the event today over at Walk-Ons with the Players Lounge, the Bayou Cat Crew, which is being announced and launched by Aaron Murray and the rest of the crew over here. I was looking at Jeremy Hill. Hester won't make eye contact with me. He's treating me like an ex-girlfriend. He won't look at me.
Hey, look at Jeremy.
Every time he looks at me, he gives me one of these. Yeah.
Looks like he's cheating on the test. And the teacher, right. He's like,
yes. I'm doing the no blink stare too.
And you're the proctor in the exam.
I see you.
Yeah.
I see you.
Oh, yeah. I bet he really wants to talk to the guy he's talking to right now.
Yeah, mouth breather. Can I get your jock from the 07 Florida game?
Tell me more about the Tennessee game. Yeah. When you ran over Major Wright at
I thought you scored in Gainesville in 06.
Yeah. Were you really hurt?
He did.
Oh, I heard your face mask broke.
Speaking of face mask, G-String. Ah, yes, yeah. Good day here. I won't do it to you, buddy. It's good. I'm lying. All the ones Carlos. I'll be over there in a minute. All right.
That shirt's a one of one.
He's all one of ones.
Yeah, of course.
All one of ones. This was good, man. You want to sign us off?
I know you want a Big Willie style, or you want?
Let him enjoy the day.
All right, yeah, we're good.
This isn't Jack Mashburn, is it?
Oh, is it number something? Yep, 83.
He's 82.
82. Oh, is that your Italian?
Francione?
That's your Italian guy. He's getting big.
I don't see Haney. Did somebody say Haney's here?
I think that they're confusing somebody with Haney.
I think they're talking about who's talking to Hester.
Yeah, I know.
Zoom in on that guy. Look at Hester. He won't look at us. Uh-oh. Heads up.
There it is.
Heads up.
Da-da, da-da, da-da. Not Haney.
Not Haney.
Not Haney.
Not Haney.
Confirmed.
Not Haney. All right, we're going to sign off here. Hester won't look at me, you bastard. Have a great day. We appreciate you being here. Check out the Players Lounge. Make sure and follow them on Twitter. Make sure and follow them on social media. They are launching the Bayou Cat Crew, which is going to be the LSU initiative here. If you check out the Players Lounge, you see that they're doing this in markets all over, including Athens, including schools and places all over the conference, all over the country. Oh man, I don't know. Hit that like button, share button, comment. Hit that like button, share button, comment button.
Somebody save me.
We'll be back with you on Monday at 7 a.m. Jesus,
Gotta get out of here. You sell them your shirt for $30.